Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warriors reporter thanks Kevin Looney for saving her life before Bucks game. Life as a sideline reporter in the NBA comes with its fair share of danger. Reporters can be subjected to some frustrated demeanor from the coaches they interview, or they are exposed to the hazards of standing close to the hardwood, such as being hit with a basketball. On Tuesday, Korath Burke of NBC Sports Bay Area found out the hard way just how dangerous the job can be. Thankfully, Kevin Looney was by her side. Prior to the Warriors' 104-93 win over the Milwaukee Bucks, Burke was interviewing Looney about what the recipe for success for Golden State will be as they head into a game without Stephen Curry, who was out due to rest. Some Warriors players were shooting the ball near them, and the ball bounced towards Burke, nearly hitting her on the head. Looney, however, deflected the ball away, much to Burke's delight. "Man, thank you for saving my life," a relieved Burke said, via Brick Center on X, formerly Twitter. Burke is not the only one who feels as though she was saved by Looney. There are certainly plenty of Warriors fans who feel the same way after everything the 29-year-old center has done for the team since being drafted 30th overall in 2015. It took Looney a bit of time to cement himself as a rotation player, but he's been part of 3 championship-winning teams, and he played a prominent part on those squads as well. He's an incredible offensive rebounder who gives it his all every time he's on the court, and he's also surprisingly mobile defensively, allowing him to keep up with much quicker players on the perimeter. He may not be featuring as much in the Warriors' rotation anymore, but even head coach Steve Kerr will agree that he's a lifesaver, always ready to contribute when called upon. Speaking of saving lives, the Warriors will be thanking their lucky stars that their front office pushed to trade for Jimmy Butler prior to the deadline. Butler has given the Warriors an edge, and another star-caliber do-it-all player who can carry a heavy workload, a necessary player to have to preserve Stephen Curry's energy for when it matters the most. After losing embarrassingly to the shorthanded Denver Nuggets, the Warriors redeemed themselves with a win over the Bucks, getting them back on the winning track in a huge way. Draymond Green and the anatomy of a defensive masterpiece. With under 5 minutes left in the third quarter, the Golden State Warriors were sauntering back to set their half-court defense, with the Milwaukee Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo bringing the ball down. Defending him was the Warriors' undisputed premier defender, Draymond Green. With Giannis calling for Brook Lopez to set a ball screen for him in an atypical 4-5 pick-and-roll setup, Green voraciously denies Giannis from making use of the screen, forcing Giannis to drive in isolation. Green's body of work and pedigree as a defender, as well as the fact that he was giving Giannis plenty of difficulty in single coverage, should mean Green needs little help from his teammates to stifle a drive from Giannis. But Gue Santos, guarding Lopez, feels compelled to sink in and help Green, despite no indication that Green was in danger of letting Giannis through. Which makes Giannis' read extremely easy. Suffice to say, Santos' help one pass away off of Lopez was completely unnecessary, a fact informed by possessions that preceded it and possessions that came after it. Green's single coverage performance against Giannis was, at the very least, a defensive masterclass from an all-time defender. At most, it's film that can be submitted for his candidacy as a member of this season's all-defensive team. Whether that warrants a first-team or second-team inclusion is up for debate. Just goes to show how much of a Hall of Fame defender Green is, Brandon Podziemski said after the game. "I think he cements his name in that every single night. I think, guarding Giannis, Zion, Williamson, and Paolo Banchero have been his best 3 performances so far this year. We trust him. I think a little bit, in that third quarter, we didn't, kind of trust it, helping of Kyle Kuzma, and he made a couple threes. And Draymond was adamant that he has Giannis, he's good. And so, I think we were able to take that on in the fourth quarter and let Draymond take him on his own. For Giannis to only make 5 field goals as a guy who averages 20 points in the paint a night, that's really good. When asked if he thinks one of Green's biggest pet peeves is overhelping unnecessarily during one-on-one possessions, Podziemski answered in the affirmative. As a player around Draymond, you got to find a healthy balance of doing what the coaches want, but when you're on the floor doing what Draymond wants, Podziemski said. Just a balance you got to try to find, because we kind of have our initial scouting report, what we're going to do. A lot of times it gets scrapped because Draymond sees something. You just got to find the balance, and I think we did that tonight. Green himself gave his thoughts on defending Giannis one-on-one and the problem of overhelping. I didn't want guys to overhelp because if he goes off and he gets 40 and we stop everybody else, we still got a great chance of winning the game, Green said. I just didn't want them overhelping too much, and all of those guys like Taurean Prince, Brook Lopez got it going there for a minute, Kuzma, I didn't want them guys to end up kind of taking them home because we're overly focused on Giannis. Just trying to tell the guys, be there early, but don't stay there. Be there early and then start exiting out to your guy, I'll get back. Udonis Haslem warns Warriors of two teams in the NBA playoffs. The Golden State Warriors, 39-29, have been nearly invincible with trade deadline acquisition Jimmy Butler in the starting lineup, but Monday's 114-105 home loss to a painfully short-handed Denver Nuggets team proved that they are quite mortal. A 14-2 record with Butler is still sensational, but this ugly showing highlights just how steep a climb back to the top it could be for the NBA's most recent dynasty. While the team and its fans will want to attribute the outcome to just a bad night or an overworked Stephen Curry, three-time champion and current analyst Udonis Haslem believes the contest exposed a major Golden State weakness. And it is one that not even Butler might be able to combat. When you talk about Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook, you're talking about guys that have size, speed, and athleticism, Haslem said on ESPN's NBA Today, per Andy Lindquist of NBC Sports Bay Area. Those are the kinds of guys Jimmy struggles with. Smaller guards he can overpower, bigger guys he can usually get around. Those guys that have that balance of both, those teams are ones Jimmy struggles with. Guys with switchable matchups that can guard him on the post and the perimeter. The Warriors are currently in 6th place in the Western Conference and would battle the Nuggets in the opening round of the playoffs if the regular season ended on Monday. Haslem actually thinks there are two teams that pose even more danger for them. Neither, Oklahoma or Houston, in the first round is gonna play out well for Golden State, the Miami Heat fan favorite and undrafted forward opined. But Oklahoma City Thunder has wing defenders. They have Alex Caruso, they have Luguentz Dort. They have these lengthy, long wing defender guys. And Houston Rockets have that as well. So, neither one of those teams in the first round is going to play out well for Golden State. So, in my opinion, move up as high as you can and get out of there. The Thunder have the number 1 seed essentially locked up, 12.5 game lead, and the streaking Rockets presently occupy the second slot via tiebreaker. It seems unlikely that the Warriors can reach the finals without going through either one of these franchises. Versatility can be a menace for a team that relies heavily on veterans, so there is naturally a concern that OKC and Houston could wear down Golden State. Championship pedigree is a powerful thing, however. Stephen Curry and Draymond Green have each won 4 titles and Jimmy Butler has competed for 2 in his own right. If they can occasionally lean on the superbly athletic Jonathan Kuminga and an underrated supporting cast, Steve Kerr's group could potentially overcome any perceived matchup nightmares. Regardless, the Warriors are probably not afraid of anyone in the NBA playoffs. Even if the scouting report paints a bleak picture, they will exude fearlessness. That is an invaluable quality to have when adversity bears down on you. But will it be enough this time around? And you, fan? What do you think about Udonis Haslem's situation? Write to us in the comments.